Okay, yes, Malady lives, and I'm going to explain why. What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to WeSib's West Coast, East Coast Siblings, where we break down your favorite movies and TV shows. Today, we are talking episode 5 of The Nevers on HBO Max. This is going to be a review, biggest takeaways, all rolled into one video. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so you don't miss. And let's dive right into it. Okay, so we'll get to the whole Malady thing, but let's start out with where the episode starts. The affair is still going strong between True and Horatio with no signs of stopping. And so this is just something that they've kind of accepted is going to happen. Also, everybody's still recovering from the death of Lucy. As it turned out, she was the traitor who ended up getting Mary Brighton killed, aka the Songbird. Now, another thing, the Galanthe in this episode is the thing that has been communicating through Mary Brighton before she passed away, and it was this big glowing egg. I know they said it was less like an egg and more like a chrysalis, but it seemed to be cracking. Now Bidlow is down there. Lavinia Bidlow is down there with all her miners and people working down there, mostly the touched women, including one who had the ability to float things. It seems she still had her powers, but that was like a less significant part of the episode. But basically, Lavinia wants to know what's inside of it. She wants to know if she can kill it. And when it hatches, whatever comes out of there, they're planning to build a railroad to get it away from the city as quickly as possible. So that's kind of the whole thing that's going on down there with the Galanthe. Now, speaking of that, True seems to think that the Galanthe, it does not want them to kill Malady. So we're getting to the whole Malady thing. But basically, Malady is up for a public execution. And there was a little bit of inconsistency in this episode between what they actually thought should be done about Malady's crimes. I mean, Malady was a criminal, and I wasn't sure during the episode if they were arguing more against public execution or execution at all, because they seem to have a problem with her dying in general. When she was a mass murderer. Like, she killed all those people in that opera house. So I wasn't sure what the show was saying, whether they were saying they wanted Malady to not die for her crimes, or they just didn't want it to be done in a public way. But Penance decides to go and perform a rescue mission, saving Malady from her public execution. So everybody rushes in at the time of the execution, and it seems like they're all in a frenzy, just happy to see a killing, looking for it to be entertainment. And True and Penance have this discussion where she's like, look, they just want to kill the touched. That's all that this is about, and this is just an easy way for them to introduce and get people used to the idea of them killing the touched people. So she goes on her rescue mission to stop that from happening. Meanwhile, True, she's like, I'm not worried about this. I'm worried about drilling down under the earth and getting to the Galanthe, the thing, the chrysalis down underground. That's her primary focus. She thinks that whatever's down there is going to give them the next clue, the next step as to where they all got their powers from, where this thing even came from. What she does not know is Lavinia Bidlow, basically the person who is kind of funding and controlling her, as well as the Beggar King. She's behind it all, which is crazy. So, meanwhile, speaking of Lavinia Bidlow, Augustus, aka Augie, he keeps messing his relationship up with Penance. They seem to be on the mend, but then he chose sides when it was between True and Penance in what they were going to do, whether they would go and drill down to the Galanthe or whether they were going to go and try and save Malady. And he chose to go with True. He thought that it was more important to find out what that is, and get to the bottom of that than to try and save a criminal who had mass murdered, tons of people and had planned to kill more. So as we get to Malady, three things we need to know, all right? Number one is obviously the character Malady was arrested, okay? Number two, Effie Boyle, who we had seen introduced an episode or two ago, who was a reporter, okay? And number three, the girl that we saw in like the second episode with the Beggar King, Mary Brighton, when she was kidnapped in that episode, being held hostage by Malady. And there was another girl who had her toes amputated or cut off, whatever had happened to them. She was missing those toes. These are the three characters. Now watch what happens. So Malady was actually there at the precinct choking out the chief. She jumps out of the window, goes and runs around, and you saw the episode. They do a switcheroo. She does a switcheroo with the girl who got her toes cut off, okay? That we already knew that she was one of the henchmen of Malady, working with the Beggar King and even Annie, Bonfire Annie at the time. Okay, so she is all crazed and all in the palm of Malady's hand, so she's able to manipulate her into taking her own life straight up. That was 100% real. She kicked the guard, kicked the lever, and jumped to end her own life during that hanging. But she was just dressed up to look like Malady. Meanwhile, rewind even further, the first time we saw that woman killed down in the mine, she was in a blue jacket all dusted up. It looked like she had gotten trampled. They never turned her over. This was because that was Effie Boyle. So the reporter Effie Boyle, the real Effie Boyle, she was down there looking for a story, finding out about the Galante probably, and Malady or Beggar King or any of the henchmen, maybe Bonfire Annie even at the time, they killed her. Effie Boyle we had never seen her. Even when she showed up at the precinct, that was Malady. And the reason why we saw her continue to show up in episodes is because she, all that time, the amputee, the ampufoot girl, amputo, she was in jail, leaving Malady free to wander around impersonating Effie Boyle. So she was gloating even about certain things about the person who died in the mine, saying, oh, well, you know, she probably was a reporter and this and that. She knew full well who she was because Malady was likely the person who killed Effie Boyle. So she was long gone from even the first or second episode, I think it was, that they revealed that character who was down in the mines who died. So that is what happened. Malady was never taken into custody. They did a switcheroo, and she is now still free to roam. But here's the question. Why would she blow her cover? At the end of the episode, she was walking through the streets and she takes her costume off, revealing that she's Malady. And that's great for the audience, but it doesn't make a lot of practical sense for everybody else, like in that actual real world, because now she's dead. Everyone thinks she's dead, except for Frank Mundy. So he knows that Malady is still alive and at large. But Malady doesn't know that Mundy has figured that out, so why would she reveal herself that quickly? People could easily recognize her as the dark-haired girl who just got publicly executed. So this doesn't make much sense to me, because it seems like she would use that to her advantage, at least for a while. But it seems like very soon people are going to know that she's alive and well. We're going to have this whole situation again. With them trying to take her into custody and then having this execution, because it's probably going to happen. Or maybe they think they've learned their lesson, and the fact that everybody got electrocuted was, you know, they're like, okay, well, let's stay off the public executions for a while. But that is the episode explained. That is what happened. If you guys were tripped up on what happened with Malady, that is the gist of it. So let me know. That was a crazy twist, and I want to hear what you think about it down in the comments below. Also, be sure to hit the like button if you like the video, if you like the explanation. Also, if there are some things I missed from the episode, let me know. I'd love to chat it up with you guys all week with the Never fandom, absolutely. Also, I'm, of course, covering Jupiter's Legacy, Supergirl, and The Flash, a ton of shows that are just on. And be sure to check out our sister channel, The Lotta Quinte Ledger. I have my show, The Granite Geek Show, over there as well. So, did I already say subscribe? Do all the YouTube stuff. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.